You're listening to BGR Pop Gospel Radio.
Keep it locked right here, y'all. Pop Gospel Radio. And we are the sound of the community. Get ready for Rachel Raquel. She's our host today for On the Set. Song entitled Usher the Spirit. By the Pop Gospel DJ.
My joy, my heart, my peace, my world, my hope, my light, my love, my Lord, my Redeemer, there for me. In Jesus Christ I be. I'ma live my life holy, and Lord, I give you praise.
God bless every ear that hears and receives the sound of the community. Pop Gospel DJs. This portion of the show is sponsored by BedLoo. Let the world help you decide. Download the app today. That's BedLoo. BedLoo.
You're my everything.
More new music.
Yes, you
Pop
are.
Gospel DJs. And if you like what you're hearing, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are the sound of the community. Right about now, it's time for On the Set. Thank you for joining us today as we welcome you to On the Set. Today we have an exclusive 3-part series. And you don't want to miss this one. She is one of the most courageous. She is one of the most powerful, well-respected women of God, history-making, record-breaking. She's been on Dr. Phil's show 12 times. She's been on 60 Minutes. She is our civil rights activist and most highly respected attorney, Mrs.L. Wallace Pate. You keep it locked right there on BGR, BopGospel Radio, Los Angeles, California, as we continue to be the new #1
Sound of the community.
BopGospel Radio.
Keep it locked right here on Pop Gospel Radio.
Listen, one goes with me, the other one you get rid of immediately.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and I mean bury it deep in the ground.
Yes, sir.
Goodness, I'm stuck. I can't make a decision over here.
Hey, boss, just use BedLoo, sir.
BedLoo,
Yeah, it's a new voting app to let your friends vote instantly to help you make a decision.
I ain't got no friends.
I mean associates, sir.
Yeah, well, let's go.
You can't borrow money from the mob and not pay it back.
I'll get you your money.
Hey, stop! The Don just posted a BedLoo. You gotta vote. You too.
Hey, the Don just posted a BedLoo. You gotta vote.
Wow, I've never dated a made man before.
Yo, the Don just posted a BedLoo. You gotta vote.
90%, sir.
Okay, leave the bud. Take the cannoli.
Hola para todos mis oyentes. I am Rachel Raquel, and you are on the set.
It's the highly respected Miss L. Wallace Pate in the building, and we're going to continue where we left off. This is episode 2.
If I tell you that you have a due process right not to be taken from your parents unless there's a certain threshold of evidence that's met by the government.
Would you care to educate us on the term court-appointed attorneys?
Court-appointed attorneys is most analogous to a public defender. We have a public defender in criminal court, and those are court-appointed attorneys, but they're called public defenders, but we call them public pretenders. And then over there in dependency court, when you have court-appointed attorney, they're not called public defenders, they're called court-appointed attorneys. Okay, now, the court-appointed attorneys are paid for by the state of California Supreme Court. And they have a huge budget. And the longer the child stays in the system, the bigger the budget. So it's called Kids for Cash, keep the case open, the average length of time that a child is in the system in LA County whose parents happen to use drugs after the kids go to sleep, and whose kids were doing just fine at home. They were well cared for, they were healthy, they were loved, and they're taken just because maybe somebody called, they get a revenge call. That woman is over there using drugs and she's not taking care of those kids. Oh, the county loves revenge calls. They love for somebody's old girlfriend or boyfriend to make a revenge call. They're just gonna sick those pit bulls right on you. So they come in there and say, we got this call that you're using drugs. I'm not using drugs. See, that shouldn't even be the first question. The first question should be, are the kids being taken care of? But the county always focuses on the drug. It's like the DEA thing. They're like the DEA agents. Go on the internet, Google drug war against moms, because this is what's going on nationwide now. And it starts, the gateway is in the hospitals, okay? The gateway to the large majority of the children being in the system on this phony drug stuff is the hospitals.
My next question is, how does the medical and pharmaceutical companies play a part?
The medical and pharmaceutical companies benefit from the illegal seizure and detention of children from their parents, because within a matter of months, the children are so depressed that they cannot function. Some of them become suicidal. So 80% of the 1,360 kids who go in the system every month will be put on psychotropic medication. I had a child come to me who was 21. He'd been put on psychotropic meds since he was a little boy. His liver was gone because he had to process all those psychotropic meds. And these children are children who are deeply depressed, because these are the children who are well cared for at home. They're the ones who are taken from their parents. They're the ones who become so depressed that the foster parents want to make them compliant. And also, the foster parents get more money if the child is put on psychotropic meds. Then the child becomes a special needs child, and he goes up even more. So there's a lot of incentive for foster mothers to doctor hunt for doctors who will give them these prescriptions, because the doctors know that the foster parents will doctor shop until they get to the doctors who will give them the prescriptions that they need. So instead of having a normal child who's just depressed and needs to go home because, oh, by the way, they were loved there, the foster mother will give them medication so that they are now special needs, and they are now medicated most of the time. And the ante goes up. Now they become a level D. Now they go to $1,200 and $1,300 a month. These kids have a hard time going home because they don't adjust well.
Can you please reintroduce yourself to all of our listeners who are just coming aboard? To those who are just joining us, could you tell them who you are and where you're from?
My American Indian part of me would say that I dropped out of the sky. My European part of me would say that I came over on a boat. And my Native American part of me would say that I'm already here. And my African part would say that I came from Cameroon and Nigeria. So where did I come from? I came from a plantation in Woodville, Mississippi, called Bowling Green. That's where I came from. Bowling Green Plantation in Woodville, Mississippi is about 60 miles north of Baton Rouge. I was born in Baton Rouge. My mother was born on that plantation right across the street in Bowling Green in Woodville, Mississippi. My father was born in Decatur, Alabama. And I was born in Louisiana. I was a Southern girl. That's where I'm from. I started the legal counsel for molested children after I worked a lot on the McMartin school cases. That was the scandal that came out about all these kids who were being abused in a daycare center down in Manhattan Beach. And it was about sexual molestation. And I discovered that very few medical doctors knew what the normal opening size, what the normal vaginal opening was for a little girl. And they never trained medical students how to recognize sex abuse back in the day. And so the California Medical Association was trying to formulate a protocol teaching curriculum to these doctors, because I was making such a stink about it, is how would a doctor be able to recognize when a baby was raped if the doctor had no training in what a normal vaginal opening should look like? Because I was an expert in representing babies who had been raped, who were nonverbal. I was able to prove by evidence in court that a baby who was nonverbal had been raped and how that baby had been raped. So I started a legal counsel for molested children to try to find therapists and to train them and to train attorneys so we could represent these kids. But my work was so demanding that I didn't have a chance to get that off the ground, to be honest with you. Remember, I'm a single mom. I had 3 kids. My kids were working their way through college, and I had to work my way to work their way through college. And I was destined to follow something that I learned the first night in law school, and I believed it. A law professor said to all of us that there was no wrong without a remedy. And I feel that if a child was being abused, that there had to be a remedy for that, because that was really wrong. So that's why I got involved in legal counsel for molested children. That's why I started taking on cases that never been taken on before. The California Court of Appeals ruled that you can no longer sue the county if a child gets abused in foster care, because the county owes no duty to protect children. The basis for that opinion was that the legislature never intended to protect kids when they said the county could take the kids from the parents. That was just a goal. I wrote legislation to reaffirm the legislative intent to protect foster kids once they went in the system. And that was enacted as Welfare and Institutions Code section 1600.41 or something like that.
What was the biggest lawsuit that you've won?
That was the Oime Sato case. That was the case of a little girl who was born under the influence of drugs that the hospital gave her mother during delivery to control her contractions. But the social worker got it confused and thought that the baby was in withdrawal from illicit drugs. So they took this beautiful baby and put her with a foster mother who proceeded to medicate her on a cocktail of psychotropic drugs until she went into a comatose vegetative state just before her 3rd birthday. She came out of that coma. She was paralyzed on her right side. She had these breakthrough seizures because the medication for the seizures is the medication that the foster mother doped her up on every day in order to make her look like she needed to get the higher rate, to get the D rate, because she was on all these meds. I got the case when she was about 3 years old, so I don't know what her status is now, but that was the largest judgment, and that was the largest settlement the county has ever paid on behalf of one victim, and that was this little girl.
This has been episode 2 of Mrs.L. WALLACE PATE. We thank you for listening to the Bob Gospel Radio Show. I am Rachel Raquel and you are on the set. Gracias por escuchar al episodio 2 con la señora L. Wallace Pate.
Gospel Radio. And this concludes segment 2, L. Wallace Pate. Keep it locked right here and check out episode 3 of L. Wallace Pate. We are the sound of the community, BGR, Gospel DJs. Log on to Facebook, go to Google+. Also, you can catch us on YouTube. Like us, comment, send us an invite. Go to SoundCloud and hear the entire show, the BopGospel Radio Show. This has been one segment of the BopGospel Radio Show, and it's called On the Set. Brand new music is called Praising up in here on BGR.
Say praising, up in here, help me praise, up in here, say praising, up in here, help me praise, up in here, praise him, up in here, help me praise, up in here.
praise and all the glory. Put your hands together. I said, if you believe that the Lord is worthy of all the praise and all the glory, put your hands together. And let me hear you say, prayers go up, blessings come down. Prayers go up, blessings come down. Prayers go up, and blessings come down. Prayers go up, and blessings come down. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Father. Thank you. And with the help of the Holy Ghost, this is one of the most simplest songs I ever wrote. It's about gospel DJs, and we praise him up in here. Come on. And it goes like this. Say praise him, up in here. Help me praise him, up in here. Say praise him, up in here. Help me praise him, up in here. One more time. Praise him, up in here. Help me praise him, up in here. Say praise him, up in here. Help me praise him, up in here. Praise him. If you believe that the Lord is worthy of all the praise and all the glory, put your hands together. Up in here. Say praise. I said, if you believe that the Lord is worthy of all the praise and all the glory, put your hands together. Up in here. And let me hear you say, prayers go up, blessings come down. Prayers go up, blessings come down. Prayers go up, and blessings come down. Prayers go up, and blessings come